Welcome to this very special edition of TFL Talk. As always, I've got my man,
Nathan.
And today we're talking about the best cars of 2016 that we've driven. But they're not just the best cars.
They're brand new cars. They're not facelifts, they are new cars.
So coming up next, the best cars of 2016
that we've driven.
All right, Nathan, let's just cut right to the chase. What's number 5?
Number 5 is the 2016 Chevrolet Camaro.
Now, I drove that, but you are going to drive it.
That's right. By the time you guys see it, I'm going to be on my way with cameraman Ian to drive. Oh my God. We're going to drive the new Camaro, and we're going to drive it. Well, I'm not going to give it all away, but let me put it to you this way. We're going to take it to places that you didn't think the Camaro should go.
And why is a new Camaro on this list, Nathan? That's because, unlike most cars, the car is actually lighter and smaller than the outgoing car.
That's right. It has a new power plant, actually a couple new power plants, doesn't it?
Yes.
And we're talking about basically new ergonomics, new body. It's pretty much just a new car.
Yeah, it's funny because, look, the Camaro has always been a sports car, but now it's a real sports car, right? So there are 3 American pony cars, muscle cars, whatever you want to call them: Camaro, Mustang, and
Challenger.
And Challenger has doubled down on the straight line speed with the Hellcat. But Camaro and Mustang, those 2 brands are fighting it out for actually race car supremacy.
Yeah, they're both vehicles that now have independent rear suspensions. Well, the Camaro's had it for a long time. But the point is that now these are smaller, lighter, better cars in almost every measurable way. And can't argue with that.
Yeah, and you lucky bum, you get to go and actually drive it. All right, next one.
The next one is the Nissan Maxima 2016.
The reason we put that on our list is because, well, it's just a phenomenal and beautiful car.
I know it has a CVT, continuously variable transmission, and some of you out there agree with me with normally saying, hey, you know what, that doesn't make a fun car, but this is different. It's a different type of CVT, and it's a different type of car. It's got great power, over 300 horsepower, and it's just got an awesome stance. We both got to drive these cars in different places. I got to go up and down the coast of California in one, and I got to tell you, it was one of the best bargains out there in terms of content, ability, looks, and performance.
It should be an Infiniti.
It should be an Infiniti. In fact, if you're looking at it in Infiniti, I highly recommend you look at the Nissan Maxima.
And I'm thinking if it didn't have a CVT and front-wheel drive, it would be up there for, I think, one of the best cars of the year. The design is just, at least, you know, that's very personal, right?
Yeah, it is a personal thing.
But it is sexy, it is muscular.
Yeah.
It is elegant. It is all the things that you want a big sedan to be. And the irony is they almost didn't build it because that big sedan segment is shrinking. People aren't buying them.
That's right. Here's an interesting point. The Nissan Maxima actually has the capacity to be an all-wheel drive vehicle. It's the same platform that's used for the Nissan Murano.
Wow. So at some point, maybe we can get away from that front-wheel drive architecture and actually have a vehicle that is as good as it looks.
Wouldn't it be great if it had a manual transmission? Oh my God. It used to a long time ago. All right, let's move on.
All right, number 3.
That is the Hyundai Tucson.
Now, I got to drive the Tucson on a program, and you know, the thing about the Tucson is it's the old car, and I'm being honest here, looked like a pufferfish, right? It just had this kind of swollen face. It
like
was,
mine, really.
No, it was small. It was, in some ways, uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable. It had a terrible ride, the old one. And it wasn't very fast. It wasn't very much fun. It didn't look good. It was a difficult vehicle to like.
Yeah, there's a successor formula in America that always seems to work. You give a car more room, you give it more power, and you give it more attitude. And the Tucson has all that. And I think it's right in the sweet spot where that segment should be.
We were really surprised by just the way it looked, much less the way it handled. Well done, Hyundai. Great vehicle for 2016. Let's get to number 2.
All right. I think that is, let me think, is it the Miata?
It is. It is. This one's for you, Emmy. But more importantly, it's actually for us because that car, I did not expect to love it the way I loved it. What a great car.
Why?
Better performance than I could possibly expect. I actually fit kind of sort of, I know you don't fit so good, but the torsos. And it is just a fantastic car to drive around the track, but also just to drive all over the place. It's fun. The only problem with the vehicle in terms other than size is that there's no storage inside whatsoever. But once you get over that, what a great driver's car.
Now, I saw you put up a tweet with you and your son in the car, and that you had the biggest smile on your face.
Yeah,
what did your son think of it?
Oh my God, he was just howling. What was really cool, kids dig the car because it looks like a supercar that's been shrunk. It's such a good looking little car. Well done, Mazda.
Yeah, but there are some issues, at least for big guys like me. First and foremost, their cup holders are at your elbow, which is just absolutely ergonomically a train wreck.
Yeah, that's a problem. They really need to have like the Porsche version, or where you push a button and it kind of pops out and then you can just put it away. Something like that would really, really help.
And if you're a little bit taller and you put the top up, your head will hit that.
You have to drive like this.
Yeah, I drive like a mom.
Yeah.
But with the top down, it's glorious.
It is. It's a fantastic. I don't like convertibles very much, but this is a great little convertible.
Now, by the way, we're adding links to all these cars. If you want to see the video, the links will be above us. So if you want to see the Miata video, just click up there. And let's get to number one. And I just got done driving that, and that is the Honda Civic. And the reason we put it as number one is because I think it qualifies as the most improved car of the year.
Absolutely. Look, just on paper it's improved, but just looking at the vehicle, it's so much better looking. The interior is better looking. It seems like an altogether more mature, better executed car than the one it replaces.
Well, there have been 10 generations of Civic, right?
Yeah.
And the very first one was this little tiny car that's more like the Honda Fit now. But the 9th generation, the previous generation, they kind of lost their way. You know that.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed with the last generation. The only thing I liked about the old one was the engine.
Yeah, and the new one, not only is it turbocharged, but it's also bigger, it's sexier, the suspension is sorted. It's just a really overall great car. And yeah, it's got a CVT. And Nathan, the best news of all from Honda is there's a Type R coming.
I am loving it. And it's going to be a manual transmission. It's going to have great power. From everything I've read and seen, it's an amazing car.
So that's the one we're really lusting after. Well, Nathan, I think those are the top 5 best cars of 2016
that we've tested. Don't forget to go below, put in your comments, not that you ever do, and let us know what you think and what you would add to this list.
Yeah, and guys, if you're interested in watching those reviews, we'll take you right to the playlist. All you have to do is click on us.
Yep.
And by the way, I hate to tell you this, Nathan, but the Bronco behind us is for sale.
Okay, we're done.
Yes, for sale. See you next time. Ciao.
Bye.
3 letters. CVT, and I'm not a fan of CVTs. I think that CVTs and sports cars are kind of like oil and vinegar. The two just don't get along because the CVT feels like it's moving me further away from the driving experience. It feels like I've got a pillow under my right foot. I hate the droning, and of course this is going to emulate a traditional automatic transmission when I floor it. So you can hear those shift points, and it is powerful, and it is fast.